Hey YouTube, Zealous Talon here with a quick look at the Legacy White Tigerzord from the MMPR Legacy line. This is a figure that came out about a year ago at this point. We're recording end of March. I think this was February 2015 release, something about that, somewhere around there. So it's been out for about a year. I've had it more or less since then. I think I got this about a year ago, but again, life is chaos. Didn't really have the time or the opportunity to look at it until now, and I just kind of wanted to wait until the Thunder Megazord itself came out before I took a look at this guy, because yeah, we already knew that that was going to happen, and he's advertised as combining with the Legacy Megazord, which we all knew was not accurate, but all the tools were there for it to become Mega Tigerzord, so I figured I'll wait to do all the features until I can actually do a Mega Tigerzord. So again, box, gorgeous, shows that it transforms between Tiger and Warrior mode, which I always loved about this guy. And here is the White Tigerzord Legacy version in its Tiger mode. And it is just beautiful. Just amazing, amazing figure. Again, as we've seen with pretty much all of the Legacy Zords since the Dragon Zord, we have a ton of sculpted and painted detail, no stickers of any kind. This is just amazing, amazing painted detail. Mouth open and closes. The arms actually have a proper working elbow this time, so you can kind of get him into somewhat more interesting, like stalking, crouching poses. Rar, rar, rar. Got the sword tail here. And he actually has quite a lot of die cast on him too. The claws on all four legs are die cast. Even here on the back. This side ruff here, I wouldn't call it a mane because he's not a lion, but that right there is also die cast. And then this main core joint is also die cast, and then there's a couple more pieces we'll see during the transformation. But overall, just freaking beautiful. No electronics. Like the Dragon Zord and Titanus, they have forgone electronics. The Zords of this line have had no electronics so far, and I don't expect that to change. And I'm kind of fine with them just being good display pieces. I don't need to ruin shit with batteries. But all the paint, again, gorgeous, metallic red. The transparent removable red orbs are gone. Some people might be sad about that. I'm fine with not losing anything. So that's cool. We got it all here on the legs, the shoulders, here in the mouth. Really nice, well painted teeth. Black interior of the mouth. Really good stuff. Really great stuff here. So, yeah, this guy's $80, so same price as the Dragon Zord, and I think the re-release of like the Legacy Megazord and the Black Megazord, whatever. I think he's worth it for what he does. He's very, very well built, and he does have the playability of the two modes. And then when you have the Thunder Megazord, he has even more playability. So, but even at the time when he came out, when he couldn't really do much of anything, at least nothing really significant or accurate, I think he was still worth it, because the play value is just really fun with this thing, and he displays exceptionally well in both modes. So to get started on the Warrior mode, the first thing we're going to do is remove the tail. Just pulls out to become the sword, and again, really nice metallic red paint. It's molded in a softish gold colored plastic, except for the guard right here is actually white plastic with the red paint on it. But we can set that down to the side. And then actually I'm going to get that arm out of the way. So starting with the lower body, we're going to pull the sides out and down, and then ratchet the foot in, and then flip the toe back. That completes the leg. And one thing I do like is this hinge piece in here. That is die cast. That is a very, robust joint, and it's pinned in on both sides. So that's not breaking. That's not going anywhere unless this piece breaks, or it's definitely not going to break from here, I don't think. Not from the leg. Maybe right here if you're really rough with it, but I don't see it happening. That's going to last. But yeah, same thing on the other side. And then we can take the arms, rotate to the side, and then we also can see the tiger emblems. Some painted detail here similar to the bottom of the Tigerzord's feet. We'll flip those claws around to reveal the fists. And then we can take the body section, rotate it down, and again that core hinge is die cast, very robust, very strong joint, very appreciated. And then make sure the mouth's open all the way, and then we can flip the head up. That'll lock in place. And there's our Tigerzord, and he does have swiveling wrists, opening fingers, like the Thunder Megazord that we took a look at earlier. And you can just place the sword in the hand, like so. Holds it really nice. It's not going anywhere. And again, the functional elbows is just awesome. And he has this lower sort of forearm swivel, shoulders obviously. He even has a knee joint. It's only one click back, but you can kind of fold that toe down to give him a little bit more stability. And that is one thing I like. There's between the hinge and the toe claws, there's just enough weight in the legs, and he has just big enough feet that it holds him very solidly. Like, he stands very securely. He doesn't lean in any direction. And by the way, the back of this, which gets revealed when he's transformed in the warrior mode, this is just gorgeous. And then there's some more painted detail here that wasn't readily apparent in the tiger mode, and now we're seeing it here in the warrior mode, and it's just beautiful. Like, and then the face sculpt, again, very, very nice. Red eyes, gold paint, black paint. Just a really, really good figure. He displays so well. Like, he's so much better looking than the original toy was, because you got more of the A stance instead of the stock solid leg. The head is a little bit bigger proportionally. The shoulders are a little bit smaller. Like, he's proportioned so much better in both modes. Like, he just looks so good in both of his modes, and still maintains the transformation, and it's amazing. Here he is compared with the Legacy Red Dragon Tigerzord from the Thunder Megazord set. As you can see, he's noticeably larger. He's about, not even quite a head taller. Like, he's maybe about an inch and a half, maybe at tops taller, but he's definitely bulkier and more robust. And no, the Warrior Red Dragon cannot ride the Tigerzord in Tiger mode. That's not happening. Sorry, folks. It just wasn't meant to be. But yeah, he's amazing. You even have the sculpted tiger emblem on the crotch. Like, and that's what I love about all of this molded detail being painted, all of the sculpted detail being painted, is it catches the light naturally, and you just get so much depth. So much depth of the figure is apparent when it's sculpted like that. It's really great stuff. So moving on, the only other thing he really is that's really to go over is the Mega Tigerzord combination. So for that, we'll need the Assault Team from the Thunder Megazord set here on their sled. Now, we obviously don't need the whole sled, but I wanted to show off everything we do need. So first we'll need the Firebird, so we can unclip that. And then this black piece that it mounts on is, as I said earlier, a separate piece, so that just slides forward and out. And we'll actually are going to want to flip it around and attach it in the opposite direction, so that these these semicircles are kind of pointed towards the front of the Firebird. And we're just going to pull the head back, wrap the wings around, set that to the side. The lion, we can simply remove from the base. The head, or the helmet piece, will just stay there. This other black piece unpegs from the back. I'll set that down for a moment. Lion paws detach. We flip the head up, and then this piece is going to plug in here underneath the shoulder clips for the Thunder Megazord. So that snaps into place like so. And then here's the most annoying part of the transformation by far, is with the unicorn and the griffin. So we're going to take these, and these silver pieces are actually going to need to detach. And to do that, we just basically have to grab them as close to the base as we can and pull. And it's really, really scary because these are not particularly thick or robust pieces of plastic. As I've mentioned before with the Thunder Megazord, some of it's really nice and robust, some of it is really thin and terrifying. But after you do that, I'm going to convert it into a leg as normal, except this time we're going to come around to the back and flip this part up, which exposes the Zord Builder port. And that's how the legs for the Thunder Megazord set are Zord Builder compatible. The arms, not so much. But we're going to repeat the terrifying process with the Griffin. Again, flip this out, pull it off, set it aside, reveal the Zord Builder, peg, and then set that up. Now for the Tigerzord, what we need to do is pull out the body halves slightly, and the arms do not remove. Like, I've tried it, it just doesn't happen. Do not try it. You will break your Tigerzord. But yeah, we're going to pull the sides out, flip the shoulders down to reveal Zord Builder pegs. And then it kind of helps if the elbows are raised up a little bit. We're going to need to come down here, flip out the little tiger paws, and then actually if we just rotate those arms up, it's a lot easier. Yeah, we'll take those, attach, and then again, annoying that we have to remove pieces. You just pull the legs straight down from that spot. It's a little bit of a channel it can go down, but you just pull it straight down. And these are also marked left and right, L&R, so that you know what side to put them back on, which is useful. But that'll allow the Zord Builder pegs to function. And yeah, in case you were curious, I'm just going to show you right now, you can't store them inside of the legs. They just have to be set aside. But we're going to take these, plug on the legs. We can set aside the sled part for now. And then come around to the back, and right here are a couple of holes. That's where the lion's going to clip in. Although we have to flip the visor around first. I wanted to save the dramatic reveal, but make sure you flip around the Tigerzord's visor. And then at this point we can also lower the arms again. Then we'll take the paws, make sure the screws are facing towards the back, and clip those onto the shoulders. And we can take the Firebird, and then this center piece here is just going to go right into the Tigerzord's hand and be gripped, instead of having that weird foot piece that awkwardly frictioned onto there. He actually holds it like a weapon. And then since the visor's flipped up, we can then slide that up to reveal the new eye visor thing. So we have the face mask, the visor, and that's all painted too. It's a sticker, not a sticker anymore, it's painted. But that is our Mega Tigerzord. in the Legacy version. And I really like the look of it, but it's really, really, like, I can accept this not being there, because that was part of the original toy. But it's really annoying that you have to remove these pieces and these pieces in order to do it. And it feels like that wouldn't have been necessary had they just kind of not tried to put Zord Builder into this thing. It's a little bit frustrating, because this is kind of a point at which I'm starting to wonder if they're going to keep putting Zord Builder functionality into the Legacy line, because this is an instance where I feel like the figure is slightly compromised for them trying to do that. Like, it could have had the original combination scheme at the knee, but because they insisted on having Tigerzord be Zord Builder compatible, you have to remove the lower legs, which in turn led to having to remove these pieces. And it's a little frustrating. Like, yeah, it works up here just fine. Like, these peg on like just fine. And it also allowed them to make the shoulder of the Tigerzord itself smaller, since it didn't have to flip up and conceal the post that these originally slid sideways onto. Now they just peg down, and it's a lot more compact in the Tiger and the Warrior mode. But I mean, it still looks great. It's just it's another engineering flaw that I feel has kind of plagued all of the Thunderzords of the Legacy line thus far. Is you have fantastic detail and appearance, but engineering, there's definite flaws. But that could have been said for the Dragon Zord and the Legacy Megazord too. I feel like Titanus really is the only one that's been rock solid thus far. Like, zero complaints with the engineering on that one. But I guess nothing is perfect, and I mean, it's kind of a just... I mean, yes, it's good to point out the flaws and things like this, so that, you know what to look for in the future, and maybe recommend that Bandai knock it the fuck off. But at the same time, it still looks amazing. Like, I have no complaints putting this on display. It's just, making the combination is a little bit more nerve-wracking than it should be. So do I recommend the Tigerzord? Absolutely. If you can still get it, which I think he's not that hard to get still, and he's still about $80, so if not a little bit less, so definitely pick it up. It's a beautiful piece. It definitely belongs in your collection. So, and then especially if you do plan on getting the Thunder Megazord, it's worth getting the White Tigerzord. Now, what remains to be seen is, will we get a Legacy Tour? I really, really hope we do, because I would really like to have the Thunder Ultra Zord in Legacy form, but it remains to be seen. And I think with Titanus being kind of a big, expensive release for late 2014, and then him still being available through much of 2015, and then we had, the Legacy Thunder Megazord just came out. Again, $200 set. I don't think we'll see Tour for about another year, at least from when I'm doing this. It's currently early 2016. I don't think we'll see Tour until 2017, if Bandai does him at all. They haven't announced any plans, but he's going to be big, he's going to be expensive, and I think Bandai is very wisely spacing out the really big, really expensive Zords and Zord sets in order to not overwhelm the customer base in terms of price. Like, yeah, we just got the Falcon Zord. Maybe we'll get the Ninja Megazord later this year. That remains to be seen. That might end up being an early 2017 thing, but my fingers are crossed for Tor. I would really like to see it, but until then, live long, live strong. Zealous Town, Legacy Tigerzord, highly recommended.